Do you ever speak English to someone and they just don't understand you? It can be so frustrating. Hi, I'm Jessie, and in this video, I'll be giving you 5 tips on how to improve your pronunciation so that more English speakers can understand you. Don't forget to stay until the end because I have a bonus tip I think it's important to consider. So the first one's really obvious, and this is practice your English with other people. I would say the best is to speak with native English speakers, but you can also speak with other people who are learning English. But I will say be careful when you speak to other people who speak the same native language as you. Because I know for me, when I was learning French, when I was speaking with other people who spoke English as a first language, even though they spoke incorrectly and pronounced things in a very incorrect manner, I understood them because I spoke English as a first language, but other French speakers may not understand them. And as I mentioned in my other video, you can find yourself a language exchange partner or a language partner. If you'd like more information on finding a language partner and some tips, feel free to check out my other video on this. Link will be in the description and you can watch it after you watch this video. Tip number 2, repeat and imitate native speakers. This is something that I did when I was learning French. For example, when you're listening to the radio or watching a TV show, sometimes when you hear expressions, you can repeat after them. This helps you, 1, practice the pronunciation, 2, create the same sounds, and 2, it also helps you to mimic and imitate and learn the different intonation and rhythms in spoken English. Because sometimes people can pronounce things 100% correct, but their intonation is wrong and the rhythm of how they form their sentences are just incorrect. So it makes it difficult for people to understand. And another thing, especially if you read and you want to be able to hear the words, how they're pronounced by a native speaker, you can buy the book and you can also have the audiobook, and then you can read the book sentence by sentence, play the audiobook, pause, listen, pronounce it like you heard, and then start over again to really reinforce proper pronunciation. For audiobooks, for me personally, I love Audible, and if you use the link in the description, you can get your first month free of Audible, and you can cancel at any time. So even if you decide to use my link, get your free month, which is your free book free, and then you cancel right away, you still have access to the book. This is what I did, but I ended up keeping Audible because I loved it. Another thing you can do is you can listen to my TikToks. I have some TikToks where I read a sentence word by word, and then I read it like a native speaker would say it, so you can repeat and really learn the rhythm and the song of the English language. I will put the link below for my playlist where I have a compilation of all these TikTok videos, or at least most of these videos. So link in the description if you want to practice right away after this video. 3, this is something that I found super interesting. It's free and a lot of people don't know about this, or at least I haven't heard anyone talk about this. And this is test your pronunciation with Google Translate. So of course, when you're talking to English speakers and you say something and they're like, what? You get the feedback that you didn't say it right. However, if you want to practice in your free time, what you can do is you can grab Google Translate, click English as the first language, and then the second language is your language, and you can talk to Google Translate. So for example, I'll do it right now. So I'll click the little mic here and I'll mispronounce things just to let you see this. How are you doing? Okay, so you can see that it clearly didn't work out. Now I know I am not pronouncing something correctly. Let's try again. How are you doing? There we go. Bingo. So this will give you automatic feedback. Can you be understood? Yes or no. And if you see some words are understood, you know which words you should work on. 4, to continue on with what I just said, there may be certain sounds or words that you have trouble with. So I would say just practice with those words and really focus on them. How can you do this? One, you can watch my TikToks if I've already worked on the word or sounds that you're working on. I have a video playlist of different sounds that sound really similar but aren't. So you can definitely check out the link in the description if you're interested in practicing those sounds. You can also use a dictionary. So of course a paper dictionary, but if you go to Google and then you put the word and definition or the word and pronunciation, usually it will play the pronunciation for you, which is really cool. And you can also use one of my favorite language apps, and that is Link. I've shared about this in other videos, and I can make a more comprehensive, in-depth video if you like. But when you are using Link, you can click on the word and it will actually pronounce it for you, which is cool if you want to really work on the pronunciation of certain words. So you can click on the word, listen, repeat it back, click on the word, listen, repeat it back. You could even record yourself so you can listen later and hear, oh, I need to change this because I don't sound like the speaker on my phone. Tip number 5 is expose yourself to English every day. If you live in a place where people don't speak English, you can still surround yourself with English. You can listen to films in English with subtitles. You can listen to audiobooks like I mentioned earlier. Listening to music and singing along is something that really helps. By surrounding yourself with English, you start to familiarize yourself with the English language, different sounds. There may be sounds that sound the same, but when you listen to it more, you realize, oh, they're actually different. And now that I've noticed and I can hear that they're different, I can now pronounce these two sounds because I know and I've heard them. Bonus tip, here's something that a lot of people don't know. In English, words can be pronounced differently when they are alone versus when they are in a sentence. So it can be very interesting to listen to words individually and to notice how they actually sound when they're in a sentence. For example, I want to turns into I wanna. I have to turns into I have to. I would have turns into I woulda. So as you start to discover and see and hear these patterns, this will help you communicate more like a native speaker, as well as help you understand what native English speakers are actually saying. And as mentioned, my Audible link and my link is down in the description. So check it out if you want to improve your English by using these tools. Are you wanting to find a language partner? Check out this video here for some helpful tips. Take care and bye-bye.